Another basic information of the image is the canvas size. Also, we can change the dimension of the canvas and relocate the image. For example, we can double the width of the canvas, and the diagram below reveals the location of the image inside the canvas. We leave the image in the middle. Click OK. Then the canvas becomes wider and the image is in the middle. If relocating the image to the left, we need to click the left block and also double the width of the canvas. Then we can see the image moves to the left, leaving the margin in the right of the canvas. Next, we can do is to select the area of the image. Press Ctrl+C and then Ctrl+V. Move the copy to the right. It is finished. Do remember that once copying the image or part of the image by Ctrl+C and then Ctrl+V, the copies would exist in a new layer, which is created automatically. Okay, next I shall introduce several normal file formats. Actually, there are 4 kinds of image formats often used in Photoshop: JPG, PDF, TIFF, and PSD. The image we create in Photoshop normally is the JPG format, which is widely used. JPG files can be compressed and still retain good levels of detail for printing. It means all layers in your file will be compressed into one layer after editing. Next is the TIFF format. It is a good editing format. Unlike the JPG format, the TIFF format allows you to retain the Photoshop layers. So if you need to mask or do any other layer-oriented task, TIFF are great. The PSD format is similar to TIFF format. It also retains the layers of the Photoshop file. But comparing the same file in these two formats, we can see the size of the TIFF format is much bigger than PSD format. TIFF have better quality than PSD files. So, from previous experiments, it is better to save your file in PSD format if there is still work to do later on. Save your file in TIFF format when you have completed your job and wish to keep a high quality file. And save your file in JPG for sharing or everyday printing. Okay, the final format is called PDF, which means Portable Document Format. It is a document standard format, which allows the scalable text, vector images, and bitmaps to be combined in one document. Here I want to explain the vector images and the bitmaps further. Basically, the images we browse on the computer screen are all made from tiny blocks or lines. Zooming in the image, we can see that the block-made image is called bitmap. Bitmap would change to be unclear once you zoom in until these tiny blocks appear. The line-made image is called vector image. As we can see, no matter how much you zoom in it, vector image would be always clear. So it means that PDF file format can combine these two kinds of images in the same document. PDF can also have multiple pages. If you open a PDF in an iPad or iPad reader, for example, you can scale the text to be much larger than the actual size and becomes more readable. Because PDF file can save the actual text with the document, the text will look clean and sharp no matter how much you scale the page. So the text in PDF files can be seen as a vector image as well. There are two kinds of undoing in Photoshop. The first one is undoing single action, which is very easy to control. Once you make a mistake, just click the edit and select undo, or press Ctrl+Z for the same purpose. Another one is undoing multiple actions. Click the history palette icon alongside the palette dock on the right side of the window. This expands the palette so that you can see his contacts. Then drag a corner of the history palette to resize it so that you can see more steps. The history palette records the recent actions you've performed in the image. The current state is selected. At the bottom of the list, click one of the earlier actions in the history palette and examine the changes this causes in the image window. Several previous actions are undone. Notice that the history palette has moved the dimmed action that has been listed after the selected history state and has added a new one. The images we gain for doing the assignment mainly come from the websites, books, or cameras. All these original materials should be firstly cropped to fit for your design size, and then adjust the context of them further. Okay, the first one is straightening and cropping an image. You will use a crop tool to trim and scale the photograph so that it fits the space designed for it. You can use the crop tool to crop the image. The method permanently deletes all the pixels outside the crop selection area. In the toolbox, select the crop tool, then in the tool options bar at the top of the work area, enter the dimensions of the finished image. Then draw a crop marquee around the image. Now don't worry about whether the entire image is included, because you will adjust the marquee in a moment. As you drag, the marquee retains the same proportion as the dimensions you specified for the target size. When you release the mouse button, a cropping shield covers the area outside the cropping selection, and the tool options bar displays the choices about the cropping shield. In the tool options bar, make sure that the perspective checkbox is not selected. In the image window, move the pointers outside the crop marquee so that it appears as a curved double arrow. Drag clockwise to rotate the marquee until it matches the angle of the picture. Place the point inside the crop marquee and drag the marquee until it contains all the parts of the picture you want shown to produce a artistically pleasing result. If you need to adjust the size of the marquee, drag one of the corner handles. Press Enter or Return. The image is now cropped, and the cropped image now fills the image window, straightened, sized, and cropped according to your specifications. Do remember that if you want to modify a certain image after opening the original image, we need to at first click Save As, rename the cropped file, and click Save. Okay, the second one is making automatic adjustments. Photoshop contains a number of the highly effective automatic features that fix many pictures with very little effort on your part. This may be all you need for certain types of jobs. However, when you want more control, you can dig down into some of the more technical features than the options available in Photoshop. Just to be a good sport about it, you will first try the automatic adjustments to brighten the colors. What we need to do is to choose the image, then adjustments, alt color, and then choose the image again, adjustments, and choose shadow and highlight. In the shadow highlight dialog box, drag the highlight and shadow sliders as needed until you think the image looks good. Make sure that the preview is checked so that you can see the changes applied to the image window as you work. Click OK to close the dialog box, and then choose File. Save your work. Also, you can use other automatic controls like Alt Contrast or the Tone to adjust the image. Okay, the third one is called removing a color cast. Some images contain color casts, meaning imbalanced colors, which may occur during a scanning or which may have existed in an original image. As we can see, this photograph has a red cast. You will use the Alt Color feature to correct this. The way to do it is to choose Image, and Adjustments, then Alt Color. That's all. Okay, the next one is called replacing colors in an image. Sometimes we can replace colors of part of the image in order to make the image unique. Take the image as an example. Select the rectangular marquee tool and draw a selection border around the building. Don't worry about making a perfect selection, but be sure to include all of the building material. Choose the image, adjustments, and then click Replace Color. The Replace Color dialog box opens, and by default, the selection area displays a black representation of the current selection. Notice the three eyedropper tools in the Replace Color dialog box. One selects a color, the second adds a color to the sample, the third removes a color from the sample. Using an eyedropper tool, click anywhere in the building in the image window to sample that color. Then use the Add to Sample eyedropper to sample other areas of the building until the entire building is selected and highlighted in the mask display in the Replace Color dialog box. And then drag the fuzziness slider up to 45 to increase the tolerance level slightly. Fuzziness controls the degree to which related colors are included in the mask. If the mask display includes any white areas that are not part of the building, get rid of those now. First, select the subtract from the sample eyedropper and click those areas in either the image window or in the Replace Color mask display to remove these string pixels. It's okay if the few remain in the selection. In the replacement area of the Replace Color dialog box, drag the hue slider to -40. The saturation slider to -10, and leave the lightness slider at 0.